SMT Nation, we back nation. News out of T-Mobile, the 2.5 gigahertz N41 5G UC component of their network is an absolute travesty in fragmentation. Right? It is very, very non-contiguous throughout the country, and problems like this have been plaguing them since the onset. Ever since the T-Mobile and Sprint merger, this is the type of problem they inherited. Right? Just one of the network deficiencies that they have to work through, and it's a messy one. They've got like a public spat going on with WCO, this like holdings company, this investment company. And, WCO's making things pretty complicated. They want to buy the spectrum. T-Mobile's got a right to first refusal. There's a lot of stuff here. But we got an update from Light Reading Mike Dano. Let's take a look at some of the details that he's disclosing, updates on this situation. All right, so a year ago, WCO Spectrum appeared to have scored an agreement with the Owasso Public School District in Oklahoma for some 2.5 gigahertz spectrum license. Sounds familiar? We've covered this last year. And the 2.5 gigahertz spectrum is the capacitive layer on the T-Mobile network. T-Mobile needs this to have a complete, more national, uniform 5G network with capacity for home internet for mobile users. They got to get their hands on this. And of course, it only makes sense to own it. Leasing it doesn't make any sense. Kind of sucks. So they're trying to become the owners of this stuff. But WCO wants to be the owner, the landlord, and then drive up pricing and lease agreements with T-Mobile. That's basically what it's going to boil down to. Now, T-Mobile claims that WCO is making quote-unquote sham offers to drive up pricing. And, T-Mobile's claiming that this company, WCO, is just making things difficult and just trying to make things harder on them. Threats, intimidation, litigation, that's what WCO is countering against T-Mobile. We've covered all this in past videos. This is messy. Now, the Owasso Public City School System, they've got representation that have basically said that WCO rescinded their offer or rescinded the deal in some way, shape, or form. So they're basically saying, look, we did our part. We had this agreement. We didn't get follow-through from WCO. If you ask WCO, according to them, they held up their end of the bargain, and they are saying that the school system became unresponsive and didn't follow through. Now, of course, the FCC has to regulate all these transactions. They have to approve them, right, and then grant the license and transfer. And with respect to the filing details, the FCC actually approved the transfer of the licenses. But they did it in a status that's known as consented to. So this could have happened. It looks like the only thing that's holding this back was the financial agreement and an agreement of payment. So the FCC granted or agreed to the application, but because the financial piece isn't complete or closed, we haven't seen anything about it, really. Okay, so I don't know. This really seems kind of weird. Kind of looks like each of these parties are trying to blame the other for something not working. Just on the outside looking in, to me, it looks like WCO could just be lollygagging and making life harder on T-Mobile. Why? I have no idea. I don't know if there's a history between WCO and T-Mobile, if there's some kind of like CEO beef going on there. I have no clue. But I will tell you, it is kind of strange. And then at the same time, I could kind of see how it's weird that the school would not follow through, if that is indeed the case. Are they kind of being pushed, urged, manipulated by T-Mobile? Right? That could be kind of going on behind closed doors. We don't know. I would not call T-Mobile a squeaky clean company. I've seen them move kind of dirty. We've seen what they've done with Dish. We've seen what they've done to get the merger approved. We've seen what they've done after the merger. Right, so they are no Mary Poppins, people. And then WCO, they don't look like they're any better, right? And that's how these companies roll. So we are not really any closer to a resolution here. We don't know if T-Mobile is going to continue to lease. They do have a right to first refusal, all right? And that with regards to leases on the licenses, so they can continue there. I'm sure they want to own. And that's probably what all this really is about. And I think that's the most likely situation. 60-40 split. I think T-Mobile's finding a way to kind of manipulate and control the situation. The 40% side is WCO just making things challenging. I don't know. I really don't. I hope this works out. And honestly, not that I don't really care much about the corporations. It's more so about, the customers on the T-Mobile network that maybe could use, the 5G home internet in places where it's DSL or satellite, crappy cable, explosive pricing from providers. They could have a new competitor, right? That's what I care about. Customers getting a better network access, those types of things. Maybe, there's customers that are stuck on other providers they don't like. T-Mobile can kind of bring a new option to the table. They can't do it without Spectrum. Owning it makes more sense. These types of things. That's where I look at it. The business, the corporations and all that, to hell with them. I just hope the outcome is good for the consumer. What say you? Sound off in the comment section below. Your commentary on the situation. All right, drop me a line. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. Ways to support us are in the description. Your YouTube creators need you now more than ever. Help us out in any way, shape, or form. Appreciate that. Big salute to all the members and the patrons, y'all the goats, and we out this piece. Peace.